Once upon a time, there lived a young man named David in a quiet village surrounded by mountains. David was a simple farmer. All he owned was a small piece of land inherited from his father. But there was one painful reality. His land was covered with stones. Big stones, small stones, stones everywhere. Compared to others, his land was the worst in the village. Other farmers had soft, fertile soil. People often whispered, "Poor David. His father left him nothing but useless land. Nothing will ever grow there." Slowly, bitterness grew in David's heart. He looked up at the sky and questioned God. "Why me? Why did you give me this broken land while others are blessed?" Every day he tried to work, but the rocks destroyed everything. His plow cracked, seeds failed, his effort brought no reward. Then one year, disaster struck. A brutal drought hit the village. Rain stopped completely. Fields dried up, crops withered, wells began to empty. Panic spread among the farmers. David was afraid too, but something unexpected happened. While other lands turned to dust, David noticed something strange on his own field. Between the rocks, the soil was still cool. Small drops of moisture remained trapped beneath the stones. The rocks were shielding the ground from the burning sun. Carefully, David dug between the stones. The soil was still alive. With hope, he planted seeds in those narrow spaces. He protected them. He trusted what little moisture remained. Weeks passed, then months. Every other farmer lost everything. Their fields became deserts. But David's land, it began to change. Tiny green shoots appeared between the rocks. Life was growing where none was expected. The stones he once cursed were now guarding his crops, holding water, protecting roots, preserving life. When harvest season arrived, the entire village stood in shock. David was the only farmer with a successful harvest. People gathered and asked, "How is this possible? Your land was the worst. Now it's the best." David looked at his rocky field with tears in his eyes and said, "For years I hated these stones. I thought God had punished me. But God knew something I didn't. He knew the drought was coming. What I thought was a curse was actually my protection." The village elder heard this and said, "My son, God gives us not what we desire, but what we need." David shared his harvest with everyone, even those who once mocked him. From that day on, whenever someone complained about their struggles, David would take them to his field and say, "These rocks saved me. What feels heavy today may be saving you tomorrow." Years later, David became known as the wisest farmer in the region. Whenever drought returned, his land survived. People traveled far to learn from him, and he always shared the same truth. Never curse what God has placed in your life. Don't compare your soil to others. God gives rocky land to those who will need strength. Maybe today you're staring at your own rocky land. Maybe you're asking, "Why is my life harder than everyone else's?" But hear this carefully. Your struggles are not punishments. They are preparations. Those rocks might be protecting you from storms you cannot see yet. So don't give up. Don't abandon your land. Trust the process. Trust God's plan. One day, when your